Oh no, what happened to you?
You got gum in your hair? How did that even happen?
Oh no. I had that happen once too. I fell asleep with that in my mouth and then it fell into my hair. You know what? I remember when that happened to me, my mom was able to get it out. There's a few different things that work. Ice is supposed to work because it hardens it up. And then things that have oil in them, like coconut oil or maybe some peanut butter. Even this might work. Some dish soap. Why don't we start with, the least offensive and the least messy. And we'll start off with the ice cube. We'll see if that works. And then if that doesn't work, then we can move on to the peanut butter. All right, we'll do dish soap, ice cube, dish soap, peanut butter, and then last case scenario, and I don't think that it's gonna come to this. Just cut out whatever's left over there. All right, you wait there. Let me go get some ice. Let's see. Get a piece. We'll see if this works. See where it's stuck. It actually might be better if I stand behind you and get that. You stay right there. I'm just gonna walk around behind you, and I think it'd be easier for me to get to it. Alright, here we go. Yeah, I've got very easy access to it right here. Well, did you get a good nap at least while this gum was sticking in your hair? That's good. Well, at least you accomplished that. So once I get this out, I was thinking that maybe there's a farmer's market going on just down the street. And I've heard, word on the street is that they have this absolutely incredible homemade bread that they sell there. So I was thinking that we could go over to the farmer's market and we'll get some of the bread and just bring it back here, and that'll taste so good in the morning, just to have some of that toasted with our coffee in the morning. You know what? Tragically, the ice does not seem to be working. No, I think I might move on to the dish soap. Yeah. It might actually be better if I have you take a seat. I'm gonna go get the dish soap. Let's try that. Now don't start to panic. I've got you. I am not going to quit until we get this out. So let me try this. Just get some slippery dish soap in there. And hopefully we can get that just to slide right out. Yeah, if you could just bend your head down, it's easier for me to. Got it. Okay, so I'm just gonna work this through the strands of your hair here. Just got it really well saturated. It does seem to be kind of working its way loose. Just hold still. We're making progress. This is reminding me of the time that it happened with me. Actually, I think I was in 6th grade, and my mom, she had to end up giving me the worst haircut of my entire life. I was mortified. I always have loved long hair. Here, hold still. I've always loved long hair, and I had such a huge wad of it in my mouth. Do you remember back in the day there used to be that bag of gum? It came in a pack. I think it was called Big League gum. And it was like in shreds, and it was supposed to look like chewing tobacco. Yeah,
so I had like a giant wad of that, and it just all got stuck in my hair. And then she had to end up giving me like a pretty short haircut. I was just absolutely devastated. Alright, I made some progress, but honestly, I think if I get, I know you didn't really want to resort to this, but I think if I get the peanut butter or some coconut oil, let me get the coconut oil. I think that's honestly gonna be exactly what we need. No, we're making progress. It's honestly, I'd say it's 80%. 80%. Out. It's just barely. I think the coconut oil is really gonna save the day. Let me just put this back in the freezer because I want to be able to have some ice for our drinks tonight. And let me grab that oil. So I got some coconut oil here. You know, this is actually very good for your hair. So besides getting the rest of the gum out of your hair, I think your hair is going to be looking so shiny and luxurious after this. Yes, it's a two for one deal here. I actually put this in my hair sometimes. Yeah, so it's interesting with coconut oil, like it's totally solid, but then it like basically instantly melts in your hands. So like within, see, all melted, get this nice and liquefied, and I think this should just slide that gum right out. If I could just have you just tilt your head down again, it's a little easier for me to get to it. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, right there. Just working that. It's almost out. Okay. Just working that down. It's just barely hanging on. What do you say? I just grab the scissors and I honestly would just have to cut like a few millimeters. Just barely. It's right at the very edge. I'm just gonna take the scissors and just individually, like on a couple of strands, because I don't want to like pull and yank it and hurt you. I'm just gonna grab the scissors and just see here. Let me wipe the coconut oil off my hands. So my hands are not all slippery. Just like work that out of your hair. Get that. Some on your forehead. Okay. We got the scissors. And it's not gonna like get any noticeable length off at all. It's honestly, I'm not even exaggerating, like just like a few millimeters. Here, wait, come over a little bit closer to me over here. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull this. It's just, there we go. Perfect. See, what did I tell you? Alright, just like 2 or 3 more little individual strands of hair here. And let me just get a paper towel to wipe this off so it doesn't stick to me. Okay. I'm gonna have it fall right into the paper towel. There we go. Home free. No, there's nothing. You can go look in the mirror. You're not going to be able to tell anything. Put this in the trash. No, it looks really nice. Honestly, it might even be an improvement. I think your hair's actually never looked better than this.
I think the coconut oil made it very, very shiny. Do you need to take a shower before we go to the farmer's market, or you're fine? Here, let me just get, I'm just gonna wet maybe like a sponge or a towel here and just wipe out some of that coconut oil out of your hair just so it's not all wet looking in the front. I'm just gonna wet this towel. Just get a little bit of the soapiness out of the front. Okay. Alright. Okay, just wipe that. Okay, now it's all the soap's coming out. There we are. All better. Completely gone. Like a brand new man. Very, very nice. Alright. So now that that is taken care of, are you hungry? I'm starving. Absolutely starving, actually. I didn't end up eating anything after we stopped for lunch yesterday, so I'm completely ravenous. Yeah, so why don't we just take off? You're good to go? Okay, nice. Yeah, no, I'm ready. So I'm gonna wipe the counter down a little bit. And then, what do you want to do later? What do you want to do later in the day? That would be nice. Yeah, why don't we finish up that documentary that we started watching? That was so fascinating. You're right, though. It is such a beautiful day outside today, so maybe after we get the bread, then we'll go for like a little walk and just enjoy nature, and then when it's darker out, then we can go and start that documentary back up. I think that sounds like the perfect day. Alright, well, I'm glad I was able to come to the rescue. Save the day, as always. I'm just kidding. Oh, I was going to show you. I bought these the other day at the market, and they're surprisingly good. Set that down there. They're these seed crackers. They have sunflower seeds, sesame seeds, flax seeds, and pumpkin seeds. But like, you know, if you like dip them with like a little bit of hummus or something. I have some red bell pepper hummus, and then I also have some regular hummus, but they're a good little snack. I know they don't look, they're healthy, but honestly, I thought they were really delicious. I went through like a whole box of them yesterday. Alright, I'll take my word for it. Oh, speaking of good snacks, wait there. You need to experience this. It's next level. Alright, so they're not totally, you don't want them to get like completely frozen, but look, so that I put them in with like the water on them. And so like the water around them kind of, you know, like crystallizes, forms like a little bit of a ice cube. And I want you to try one. You're not going to believe this. It's like nectar of the gods. Have one. Isn't that incredible? You have to time it just right, because if they completely freeze, then it's not as perfect, but if the inside of the grape is just a little bit slushy, oh my god. I could go through like an entire pack of these things. Right? I told you. Here, I have another one. I have to find you a perfect one. Here we go. This one's perfect. For you. Aren't those fun? I'm obsessed with them. I'll bring them with us in the car. We can snack on those while we drive over there. Back. Inside the Ziploc bag. Yeah, I saw someone, I think, do it on Instagram, and I tried it. I don't personally love the green grapes. A little sour for me, but, you know, you can obviously use those as well. Yeah, you just get them nice and wet, and then put them in the freezer for like 20 minutes or so. And, chef's kiss. All right, why don't we head out now that you are presentable? So yeah, let's go get that bread.